What's up, everybody? I'm testing this YouTube Go Live, so I'm guessing it's working. So anyway, um, that light's right in the way. Isn't it? What do I want to talk about this morning? I wanted to share just a few minutes with you guys. Or so this book, read this book 10 years ago. Honestly, I have to read it again, but I was thinking about something in this book. And so I wanted to share it with you. Just a little background on it. It's called "Coming Out of the Ice" by Victor, An Unexpected Life by Victor Herman. So it's about this dude who was a United States citizen, was in the Soviet Union during the Stalin era, and his dad worked for Henry Ford, and he was thrown into the prison camps and all that stuff for not basically, they wanted him to renounce his citizenship, and he wouldn't. So he was thrown into the gulags and different things. And so it's a story about just human will, right? And just being able to overcome all odds. And so I just wanted to just share a part that sticks out. So he's in this prison, right? And he's in there, he's in this prison cell and all by himself, and he's in there for weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks. And the people inside the prison cell figured out how to communicate by tapping on the walls. And it was a code, like Morse code. And they would tap on the walls, and they developed this alphabet, right? And so they would tap, 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 tap. And he figured it out on just, I guess, repetition. Figured out, I don't know how he figured it out. He figured out the communication, the form of communication. And so I wanted to read something what happened. And he says, I'm just going to read you a little excerpt. It says, "But I couldn't sleep. I couldn't do much of anything except think about the iron door and the arch of bricks above it, and about the four of them in black leather. I was lying there thinking about the way he helped my chin and then pinched and slapped my cheek when I heard tapping, right? It said it was from the cell next door. It said, 'Herman dead, shot tonight.' I think I had already decoded the first two words before I realized what I was hearing. I looked around for something to tap back with. I was in a frenzy to respond. I used my knuckles. So what if the sound... So he says, I used my knuckles. So what if the sound did not penetrate the thick wall? So what if no one ever heard? It only mattered that I said over and over that it was not so. With my knuckles, I tapped. 316, I am Victor Herman. I kept on doing it over and over, tapping the very same message. I am Victor Herman. I just kept doing it until the intervals between tapping grew longer and longer, until my knuckles were knocked open, until the skin was all tapped away, until I hurt and I bled and I couldn't do it anymore. I fell into a terrible sleep." I just want you to think about that. So here he is, he's trying to survive, and he's going through the worst thing anybody could ever go through. And there was a rumor going around the prison that he was shot and he was killed. And some of us would have just said, well, that's not true, and just wallowed in self-pity. But something rose up inside of him. He says, you know what, this thing has not beaten me. I am not dead. It says that he tapped on those walls with his knuckles until there was no more skin, until he was bleeding, until he fell asleep in anguish, till he fell asleep out of sure exhaustion. I am Victor Herman. I am Victor Herman. And you know what? Sometimes you have to say, I am not dead. I am not done. I have not given up. I will keep going. And then all the people around you could be like, "Hey, look, he's a quitter. He's a failure. He's not going to make it. You're not going to make it." You have to be your own cheerleader. You have to take um, responsibility for letting people know that you're alive, letting people know that you're not a quitter and that you're not going to give up. And this guy, he never gave up. And through all the different things he had to say, and he had to let people know, even if nobody heard him, he had to tell himself, he had to convince himself that, hey, I'm not dead. I'm not dead. And sometimes you have to convince yourself, hey, you're not, it's not over with for you. You may be going through a dry season. You may be going through a time in your life where you feel dead and you feel that there's no life inside of you. But maybe you need to tap on the wall. Maybe you need to proclaim that, hey, I am Jarrett Miller, right? I am alive. And just knock and knock and knock and do something until your knuckles bleed, and build belief up inside of yourself. And so that's it. Y'all have a great day. And I'll see y'all tomorrow. Make sure you like, subscribe, do whatever. Thanks.